really tore up the D side in 2012 for Los Angeles Infamous. Those three stars join a team already stacked with veterans like Ryan Moorhead, Justin Cornell, and Tim Montresor, who have won events in the PSP before and come into this year with a strong will to get back to the top. With absolutely no holes in their roster, Impact is under a lot of pressure to perform. With all the talent now on this team, they are an instant contender for Houston Heat's title. The only questions remaining are, what starting lineup do they go with, and can all these stars play on the same page? But even if just half of them show up with their A game, they're an instant favorite to win the PSP title this season. Even though they struggled to win games last season, Chicago Aftershock is one of the most entertaining teams in paintball with their wild and reckless style. They're fearless, they push fast, and take forward spots, attacking in ways that most teams wouldn't dream of. But coming into 2013, the team has much to prove. Lucky for them, most of the talented young players that they had last season are returning. Caleb Abel should be a beast for Shock this year. He's one of the only guys on the team who's versatile enough to play every bunker on the field. He should help the wrecking ball of the front line that takes the field for Shock. Trevor Regan might be the most talented player on the team, but they also have awesome attackers in Davey Simmons and AJ Lawhead, who's the most seasoned guy in the squad. Win or lose, expect the unexpected from the most aggressive team in the league. All right, welcome here. Final day of the prelim competition here at the first event here, PSP 2013 Dallas Open. I'm Matty Marshall alongside Chris Osoya and Todd Martinez. Things are starting to get answered as far as who is going to be moving on and is to the Champions Division and to the Challengers Division. We have a full day of competition coming at you. The first game, though, is going to be Chicago Aftershock taking on Edmonton Impact. Shock needs to get it up. They need to come out stunting this year. And Impact, man, they look phenomenal. And it looks like we have Davey Simmons with Lauren Kelly down on the sidelines. Let's check it out.
Yeah, Maddie, down here on the sidelines at Cousins Paintball. Day 3. We're starting the day off right with Davey Simmons from Aftershock. How are you guys feeling going into this first match?
We're feeling real good. We're feeling a lot more confident the other day. We figured out what we did wrong, and we think we got it fixed. We're just going to play fast, smart team paintball and see what we can do.
What things did you figure out that you were doing wrong?
We were just losing our gun battles, not communicating enough, not playing as a team like we know we can, and I don't know, we just a little razzled the first day, and I think we got it fixed now.
All right, well, Impact is a very aggressive team. You guys are aggressive and fast as well, but what are you going to be doing to counteract their aggression?
Just try to be more aggressive than them, I guess, beat them to it.
All right, I guess it'll be a war out there. We'll see how this match goes. That's all down here for now.
Now, these two teams have played each other 6 times in the past, and all 6 wins have gone to Impact. So Shock has never actually beat Impact in competition before. So and it's going to be a tough one for them because, you know, the team that we see from Edmonton Impact, superstar roster assembled here in the offseason. They got Dave Baines, Justin Rabakoff, and Greg Sewers. Dave Baines and Justin Rabakoff coming over from Tampa Bay Damage, and Sewers came over from LA Infamous. What do you think we're going to see out of Sewers? Do you think we've seen as good of a paintball as we saw from Sewers last year so far this event from him, or do you think he's still trying to find his vibe within the team?
Well, obviously they're still pretty new. They've only played 2 games together, but we haven't seen a whole lot from Sewers yet, basically because the team has had 2 blowout wins, and Ryan Moorhead is playing awesome. Yeah. So, I mean, maybe he'll get a little more spin today. Maybe Aftershock will give him a good game, and, you know, we'll get a chance to see more of his talent displayed out there on the field.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Matt. Again, like he said, you know, it's when you blow out somebody 7-1 and 7-2. I mean, that's not a lot of time to get in the groove. Plus, when you're up that high, you know, their teams are trying quicker things. They're trying to move down the field quicker, which means it's a little easier. That's why you see the 7-1s and 7-2s, because they're trying harder, which, you know, sometimes bites you in the butt.
Well, do you think that there's a chance that Shock could do to Impact what CEP did to San Antonio X Factor? And I felt that San Antonio slept on it a little bit, not to take anything away from CEP as far as how well they played, because they played awesome. But that was a 7-1 beatdown. And do you think that because Impact has been blowing teams out so far, and they come and play one of the lower-ranked teams in Chicago Aftershock, do you think they might sleep on them a little bit?
Not really, because the guys that are on Impact are all very disciplined players. You know, Justin Rabikoff, Tim Montresor, Greg Sewers, those guys know how to play a really controlled game. And I think that's a big factor in, you know, why these teams have success, because you can pay the toll really bad by making silly mistakes that Aftershock, like Davey Simmons was talking about. They were too antsy, got shot out of their bunkers. That's because you're not confident. You know, you're not supremely confident. You're sitting there, you're wondering, waiting, just like trying to make things happen instead of letting the game come to you. So I think Impact will still be able to play a pretty controlled game, but I hope Aftershock brings it to them.
Well, the thing with Aftershock is they are always getting in those important 50-yard line bunkers. I mean, in paintball, you have to get up the field, especially on a field like this. And you know, so far we've seen that team, especially guys like Davey Simmons, AJ Lawhead is actually, I think, playing great for them. And they get in those really good spots, but they need to be executing on a more consistent basis from those positions. And we just haven't seen that out of them yet. It happens occasionally, but not with enough consistency to get them to get them closer to winning games and then hopefully one day winning events again. Because Chicago Aftershock, they're a much more legendary team as far as history is concerned than Edmonton Impact, though Edmonton Impact has been a top team. They've won tournaments in this league before. But Chicago Aftershock was one of those teams that long ago defined aggressive paintball, and if you're from the Midwest, you really should hope that Shock can turn it around for the good of paintball in that area. Because man, you know, it would be cool to see Chicago Aftershock get back to the top again. And they made a run at it a couple years ago, getting all the way to World Cup finals, but got skunked in that game against Moscow Red Legion. And then unfortunately for Shock, they had lost all that talent they spent so long cultivating and have had to rebuild with a bunch of young, hungry, aggressive divisional players that are now pro players. And I think starting to kind of come into their own in the sense that they're not scared to make moves. They do make those good spots, but as far as their composure when they get there, it's a little lacking.
Yeah, I mean, their biggest thing is that, like Davey Simmons said, they need to play as a team. And a big part of that is being in your spots and trusting that your teammates are doing their jobs around you so that you can just play your game and start getting kills out of these good spots that they can get into all the time.
So here we go. And on the split screen breakout, Edmonton Impact on the left-hand portion of your screen and Aftershock on the right. And it looks like Aftershock losing a body off the break. So immediately going to work on that Dorito side is Edmonton Impact. Greg Sewers pushing down that side.
Yeah, we talked about Greg Sewers. He is extremely aggressive. When he gets up there, you're pretty much in some serious trouble. Aftershock just taking it left and right over here. Unfortunately, you know, it's too little too late for this point. And, you know, that's pretty much going to wrap it up here for Aftershock at this point. And Impact coming out looking good, shooting great lanes in the break, taking one or two quickly in the break, and then everybody else kind of falling like dominoes directly after that.
Yeah, real quick point for Edmonton Impact as they had the offense working on both sides of the field. Able to get Justin Cornell streaking up the snake side, and Aftershock getting chopped up off the break. And we're going to be right back after this.
Ever wonder how your order gets from ansgear.com to you? Using our fast and efficient processing method, your purchase is pulled, verified, and shipped to your door quickly and accurately. Every order is checked for accuracy 3 times before it leaves the warehouse. With your choice of free shipping on orders over $100 to next day, Saturday, or international shipping options, you get the products you need sooner and at an affordable price to get you back in the game. Shop now at ansgear.com.
And we are back. Beautiful morning here, Dallas, Texas, 2013 season opener at Cousins Paintball here in the PSP. This event sold out and the league looks strong this year. And we're watching the best players in the world throw down, but go to pspevents.com and understand that no matter your skill level, doesn't matter if you just started playing, there is an event for you at your skill level, and get in the fight, man. It's such a fun life experience. You will not regret it. And we're seeing these guys, such long paintball journeys from a lot of these guys on Edmonton Impact as superstar roster assembled. There's Justin Rabikoff in the purple beanie, getting his gun checked out by the referee there. Dave Baines coming over, and Dave Baines, such a successful career that he's had, and we may not see Dave for very many years coming up here. You know, every year Dave's kind of has to ask himself, okay, have I done enough? Am I going to retire? But he's still enjoying it. He's got a family now, and he's been doing this at a high level for a long time, so it's just good to see him out there still playing.
Yeah, well, you know, it's hard to really decide where the...
Oh, Bad break for Aftershock. I think
or Impact.
I think Aftershock there's like 6 or 7 of them that took off over there.
Well, Impact had a bad break too. They lost Rabikoff, and I thought looked like Sewers might have left early, but he was able to get back and tag up, which you are allowed to do. So.
Oh, and a major penalty on. It's very unfortunate when something like that happens to not only take a break. I mean, 3 of you guys leaving the break early, and then now a minor penalty on Ryan Moorhead as well. Let's explain what happened here.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, what happens is some of these people, these fields are back to back, and sometimes you have in a situation where the time clocks for each field are relatively close. And what happens, as you see in this replay right here, the horn will sound, and they think it's theirs. The horn goes off. It's the wrong horn. They're like, uh-oh, got to get back. They try to run back, but in the process, a couple of them tag up. But I think 2 of them actually got pulled. 3 of them actually got pulled. So 3 got pulled, and then all of a sudden on the other side of the field, and there you go, another look at it. And actually, both teams pretty much did it. So.
And a little early apparently in the morning for them. Maybe they didn't get their coffee.
Yeah. Speaking of coffee, we stopped by Starbucks for Maddie this morning.
Hey, I can't do it without caffeine.
I know, but like I said though, you leave early, you got to go back and tag up. If you don't, they go ahead and eliminate you. Plus, they got a major on Aftershock and then a minor coming on Ryan Moorhead on Impact. So we'll come back right after these commercial messages.
And we're back. The score is 1-0. Now look at those penalties underneath the names of the teams on that scoreboard right there. Minute and 58 seconds remaining on Chicago's major penalty. And then Edmonton Impact also, Ryan Moorhead got a 1 minute unsportsmanlike conduct minor penalty, which will come off the board if they lose the point. But the way the Edmonton Impact is playing, man, Aftershock really is going to have to get it together here. I mean, now they're going to have to play down a body for the next 2 minutes. And they try to spread out wide here on the split screen breakout, but losing number 4, Daly, off the break.
You know, and you see on the split screen right there, that's number 7 trying to hold it down for Aftershock.
Oh, Justin Cornell getting taken out for Impact too, though. So bodies dropping from both sides. You're looking at Aftershock on your screen right now. Here comes Impact. Justin Rabikoff making his move into Snake 1, rolling his gun towards the center of the field. You see him, you look at his body language, he wants to move, jumps over the Snake, right into Snake 3, rolls his gun up, gets a kill cross field, and it's just Justin Rabikoff feasting over here on the Snake side. And it's going to be bad for the last Shock player there. It's been all Justin Rabikoff on this Snake side here.
Yeah, that was good movement by Justin Rabikoff there.
Justin Rabikoff saw the back of that last Shock player, and instead of pulling up and shooting him, he ran closer to him so he could shoot him.
Honestly, that's
2 feet away.
I do the same thing, except it takes me a little longer to get there.
So, yeah, Edmonton Impact looking real sharp this morning, and Shock is just still struggling. Still trying to get it together. And Coach Mikey Bruno, I talked to him at length in the offseason, and he really understands what's in front of them. He understands what they need to do and how long it's going to take him to get there. He just wants to get it there as quick as possible, and we're going to be right back after this. So we are back. This game brought to you by Extreme Pros. If you're in the LA area, you definitely want to get out to Extreme Pros. They got some awesome gear out there, great prices, and Steve runs a great shop out in Garden Grove, Los Angeles. Extreme Pros, paintball.com. All right, so Justin Rabikoff, 24, man. Justin, I expect him to have a big year. Didn't play as well as he should have last year, and he was on Tampa Bay Damage, just didn't quite fit into the system, but I think he's going to get the spins and the reps he needs on Impact. He seems to have a great attitude about what he needs to do this year, to be in that running for that Top Gun title, which we all think is where he needs to be with the level of skill and talent and experience that he has at this point.
Yeah, without question, man. We've known this kid since growing up, and I mean, he's come quite a long way, not just maturity-wise, but I think he's coming into his own. He was playing out of position with Tampa Bay Damage, and I said it last year the most. He's a great player no matter where he plays. However, he made a name for himself on the Snake side, and the J&J Music Factor on Impact, I think, are going to be dangerous over here.
The two Justins, Justin Cornell and Justin Rabikoff, will definitely be playing back and forth off each other. And here we go on your screen. Chicago Aftershock digging in for the start. Oh, little slip off there. Oh, not getting a good start here. Chicago Aftershock.
It looks like he got shot like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, Shock already playing down one body as they still have that one body in the box and losing one on the break and another one in the goggles on the Snake side. So 2 bodies left alive for Aftershock as Justin Cornell starts coming down the Snake side of the field. Ryan Moorhead again just attacking that 50 Dorito.
And Big Dave Baines up in that center 50. And Edmonton Impact, talk about pressure. They are not letting Aftershock breathe at all. They're exerting a lot of pressure with their guns off the break. They're shooting players off the break. And then also they're making those moves quick. So the pace and the tempo that Impact has brought so far this year is pretty scary. If you're any of the other teams in the league, they're not missing many beats. And really, we saw some teams yesterday play really slow on this aggressive field. But Impact, man, they're playing it about as well as it can be played right now. We're going to be right back after this. And we're back. First game of the day, Aftershock taking on Impact. Next up, we have Moscow Red Legion taking on Omaha Vicious. I can't wait to see that game because Vicious is, they need to win here. And Moscow Red Legion, both of these teams hungry to elevate the status of their squads into the upper echelon of this sport. Moscow Red Legion taking hits in the offseason, picking new players up. So, the question again, just like it was last year, is can Legion take those hits on the chin and come back and stay competitive? And, the answer is probably going to be yes, because they are always able to do it and they have great talent still. So we'll see. And then Damage and Impact. Now that's a finals game right there. Tampa Bay Damage and Edmonton Impact.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's going to, set the tone for how the teams come out of these prelims. Some of these teams right now are gunning for that bye spot, to get into the finals and just say, hey, I want to win this and get all the way to the finals, and we'll worry about these guys later. But like you said, when you get to that point, when you're fighting for that final spot, sometimes you don't want to show everything either. So,
yeah,
because if you're already in, it's like, how do we play this? Do we learn or do we just kick the crap out of them?
Yeah,
or try.
Exactly. So here we go. Edmonton Impact is 4 points in a row here. And Shock getting that big fat goose egg, and Edmonton Impact, and you can tell that they are just really feeling it right now. Their shots are on, communication's on. They have 5 bodies like, looks like they lost
Joshua Met
up that center. But then I look over and see 3 players for Aftershock coming off at the same time, and Caleb Abel spiking his pod into the ground in frustration. And then just continuing the bloodbath is the last 2 players for Aftershock. Davey Simmons gets shot out of his bunker, and man, Edmonton Impact is just handling business in their gunfights right now. Wow. Incredibly impressive performance so far from Edmonton Impact. Justin Rabikoff hanging that flag. They are definitely one of the favorites to take Houston Heat's title this year. We're going to be right back. Beautiful morning here, Dallas, Texas. Again, this game brought to you by Extreme Pros, Los Angeles, California. Be sure to check out their store. Check them out online. And, wow, Edmonton Impact. Can they look any better, Todd?
Man, they are just shotgunning Aftershock down. I mean, Aftershock just I mean, it killed them with that major penalty because Impact is just running so fast, so aggressive. They're shooting people on the break. And then when you only have 4 guys, I mean, it was going to be a battle for Aftershock anyway, but when you get a major on the second point and then Impact is able to run off 3 more points before that major's out, I mean, that's tough. We haven't even played 4 minutes in this game. We played 3 minutes and 30 seconds in this game, and it's 5-0.
Yeah.
You know,
So, wow. 3 minutes and 30 seconds, 5 points.
But like you said,
Wow.
think about that. I mean, they get a, you know, while we have this timeout right here, think about it though. You're down 1 body, and then you're also losing 1 or 2 in the break. You're playing a 2-on-5 paintball game against a great team.
At any point when you're in the game and you look over and 3 of your homies are walking off at the same time, there's no worse feeling than that.
There is.
Other than
we've all been there before.
Yeah.
Other than like, oh my God, I'm good. Okay, all right, here it comes. This one's gonna hurt a little bit.
Yeah. We lost 1, we lost 2, we lost 4. We haven't shot anybody yet, and there's a bunch of bunkers starting to get really loud.
Bunkers start to get really loud. Exactly. So we're gonna be right back after this. Let's hope for those Aftershock fans out there that they can get it together, and we'll see you in a second.
We've just done a lot to make the loader smaller, lighter, tighter, simpler, more reliable, more consistent, just a better product in almost every single way. It is the lightest force feed loader of its type on the market. It's also now, with this smaller body profile, the smallest force feed loader on the market. Everything's taken care of automatically by the sensors in the loader. Put it on your gun, play paintball.
Yeah. So, Chris.
You know, God, man, look at the look at the body language of Aftershock. You know, you pull it out a little bit. Look at them; their heads are down. You know, you're down 5-0 against a good team like Impact. You have all 5 players back in the game now, though. I mean, it is possible to come back because we have a lot of time left in the game.
Well, that is one of the cool things about this particular layout, I feel, is that because quick points can be scored, you know, we've 16 minutes and 33 seconds left. So if Shock, you know, now with, do they have 5 bodies left? Yeah, I mean, you never know at this point. Yeah, 5 bodies alive for Shock. And as the breakout, you're looking at Edmonton Impact and Shock continuing to drop bodies off the break. They have not had 1 single point yet that we've seen in this match where they can keep 5 bodies alive off the break.
Look at Ryan Moorhead. I mean, you can't see him on the far side. There's Davey Simmons on your screen trying to get up here, get something working in the snake, Maddie. On the far side, top side, that's Ryan Moorhead in that 50 Dorito.
And they lost Dave Baines, Chris, but they still have great field position.
And they also, right there, Davey Simmons taking the walk from across the field. That was a shot across the field from Ryan Moorhead.
Well, Aftershock shot a guy. That's a plus.
And Ryan Moorhead just going to work at the top side of your screen, just massacring and bunkering out AJ Lawhead. That's gonna.
I think the word for this particular game is eviscerate.
Okay, let me write that one down too.
Disembowel.
Eviscerate. I know disembowel. I know about disemboweling.
Well, that's what Edmonton Impact is doing to Chicago Aftershock's hopes and dreams to progress in this tournament.
Yeah, Aftershock right now is gonna go home with nothing but broken dreams and shattered dreams. There's Ryan Moorhead on your screen right there, number 27, 5'10", 180, position dream shatterer out of Latrobe, Pennsylvania. Been playing pro for 7 years.
Yeah, look at his face. He looks like you just scared him as he's coming out of the bathroom.
Yeah, Ryan's one of the nicest guys in the game, man. He's such a nice guy.
He is great.
And has some of the best hair out there in the game as well.
Whoa.
Oh, okay, well, other than you, Chris.
Whoa.
Okay, I'm sorry, I shouldn't even brought up that with you here. But some of us are lacking in that particular department, so we, just appreciate it a lot that some of us have good genes in that department. All right, we're going to be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
Next season on the roster.
We're looking for a guy that's like on our heels every weekend.
My name is Wesley Ward. I'm 23. I'm from Macon, Georgia.
Scott Kemp, age 26, born and raised in Los Angeles, California.
The attitude thing, man, it's one of those things. Some people like it, some don't.
So here we go, taking a look at Edmonton Impact. There's Justin Rabikoff, Tim Montresor, Jared Stillwell, and Justin Cornell, Greg Sewers taking the field for Impact. I mean, they could just kind of, their coach could literally just be like, okay, let's get the hat out. All right, here, pick a name out. Okay, you're starting. All right, here, you're going to start, and just take names out of the hat and have them win a tournament, honestly, like with the way that this lineup is this year.
And they do have a 10-person deep roster. They have 10 solid players in that team, which is hard to do, you know. But some of these players, like Greg Sewers, I mean, needs a little bit of spins. He needs to get the wheels going, warm up the heat, heat the tires up a little bit to keep it going.
Yeah, I agree. And that we saw Sewers really excel when Todd, you as coach of Infamous last year, just gave him a shot. Put him out there. You're going to be my guy. You're going to get a ton of reps. Now Shock sending a player all the way top left-hand portion of your screen. Shock up to that center 50. And also got Caleb Abel, man, such a versatile player for Shock. Mikey Bruno expecting big things out of number 7 this year. And he's over the top of his bunker trying to score a quick point here.
One body down for Impact, 2 bodies down for Aftershock now. Tim Montresor walks off with Sean Burke and Trevor Regan. And in the snake right now, Caleb Abel.
Just doing work, man. He just got a shot cross field and Greg Sewers.
And I like seeing the Aftershock. I like the middle, man. I keep on telling people, go up the middle. Justin Rabikoff taking a ball. You see it on your right side of your screen. I like the middle of this field.
Chris, I agree with you because the teams that we've seen go up the center have had some success up there. Where people are getting chopped up is they're getting chopped up trying to get up into the center. Oh,
and as you've seen,
minor penalty on Impact.
That bottom side of your screen, you saw that minor penalty get thrown. That was actually on, I can't really see his number from up here.
And there was no one left to pull either.
No.
So I think they should start with 4 bodies next point.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's nobody left to pull.
But yeah, I mean, that's what I'm like seeing. Aggressive paintball right there. Aftershock, getting up the middle, going to work. And hey, that's, Mikey Bruno has some good game plans. I can't knock him. He's a little weird, but some of the stuff he does works really well.
Yeah, I totally agree. And he's a very charismatic coach. So we're going to be back after this. See you in a second. Back here, Chicago Aftershock pits, and they look a little bit dejected, but I'll tell you what, man, they should get it up right now. That scored an awesome point against a strong team, and if you can score one, you can score another one.
And that was a point. Yeah. I mean, it's not like it was a fluke.
No, you're right. I mean, it was a let's listen in here actually. Mikey Bruno right there.
I was wanting to come out to the sidewalk. I looked in at Delta, and he had a screen coming hit in there. Oh, there's something. What's up?
And now we're back on the field looking at Shock. And like I said, if you can score 1 point, you can score another. They have to do the work, though. They got Caleb Abel. Oh, look at this. Impact calling a timeout, trying to slow the momentum of Shock.
I mean,
but you know what? Shock. This is what Shock did right. Shock was able to get into their spots alive. Caleb Abel clocked in. They had a good game plan getting all the way up the center. And we need to see that. That's the type of stuff that we need to see from Shock. And now finally, they're getting that momentum. And we're going to be right back after this on this Impact timeout. back here. This game, not very close, 14:34 on the clock, but we saw some signs of life from Chicago Aftershock as they were able to get some position finally against Impact. And I don't know if that's if Impact just let off the reins a little bit, but we're going to find out here. We're in Impact's pit right now. Justin Rabikoff on your screen. Now, next up after this, we have Moscow Red Legion taking on Omaha Vicious in a game that could be very exciting. Both those teams hungry to prove themselves here this year. And then in a game, then the next game could be a finals match. Tampa Bay Damage and Edmonton Impact, followed by Vicious and Shock, and Damage and Legion, another potential awesome game to close out the morning. And then a whole afternoon bracket coming at you too here. The first event of the 2013 PSP season. And let's look at the split screen breakouts.
You got Aftershock in the right, Impact on your left. Great breakout for both teams, 5 alive. Oh, and Aftershock actually losing one right there behind Daly. And here all the way down the snake.
Justin Cornell goes unabated from the corner all the way into the 50 snake. Just nobody even saw him go, and now he's going to end up on Aftershock's side of the field as the grenade starts to take bodies down on Aftershock, and that's going to be everybody. The last player in the Dorito 2 going to get ran down. And a quick 7-1 execution of Chicago Aftershock by Edmonton Impact to start the morning. This is the type of tournament it's going to be. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. I hope you're going to be here on Sunday afternoon because this tournament is going to get exciting.
Yeah, we've already had a lot of excitement so far as Chattanooga CEP, the big surprise of the event. And, you know, we're going to see a lot more of that, man. I think as the year progresses with this new Champions and Challengers format is we're going to see some things that we haven't seen before. And CEP stepping up and performing the way that they performed so far in this event is awesome, because it's possible. That's what's possible out there. You know, CEP's been taking their lumps for a while now. Now they're finally starting to dish them out. And, you know, we're going to be watching Moscow Red Legion take on Omaha Vicious. So congratulations to Edmonton Impact as they were able to take that game. And they look pretty flawless, man. I mean, you can't really make it look that much better. And it looks like we have Lauren down on the field with Edmonton Impact's Greg Sewers. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, we're here with Greg Sewers from Impact. Congratulations. Now, I have to say, you guys are one of the most aggressive teams we're seeing out on this field, but what was your mentality coming into this morning with Shock being 0 for 2?
Coming against Shock, you never really know what you're going to get. So we tried to make sure that we stayed on our guns. We didn't focus on the aggression as opposed to picking up that first kill off the break because, you know, Shock runs around like crazy people the whole game. So we picked up those first kills, and then just the aggression came off of that.
You did get a few penalties out there for unsportsmanship and for playing on, which you definitely don't want to do against Damage later today. So what are you guys going to focus on to make sure that doesn't happen?
Keep your head above water. Don't get too cocky against these teams, and like trust in your teammates to take care of it. Penalties are a waste of time, a waste of bodies, and a waste of points.
You guys sweating it a little more to go against Damage? They're playing well this weekend.
We're actually pretty fired up. I mean, we have a couple old Damage players on the team now, and everyone's itching to play them to really test the team and see where we're at so far this season.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's all down here, guys.